give them financial flexibility to sign a couple of more players. It's going to be, I'll tell you what, it helps the Cubs for sure. Absolutely for sure. Ray K has joined us. Good morning to the great Ray K. So, all this is going on. I won't even be able to get to the team of the day today, okay? Won't even be able to get. The Diamondbacks now are chomping at the bit for Chris Bryant, okay? As a result of a radio guy, John Gambadoro, on 98.7 in Arizona, says they are chomping at the bit. The Rangers, who initially acquired about Bryant and Donaldson, moved on. They signed Todd Frazier, okay? They signed Todd Frazier. So this is pretty unbelievable. So let's combine the two stories here. The Astros and the Red Sox are going through an upheaval, all right? And did that motivate the Minnesota Twins to be more aggressive with Donaldson? Because now the American League is more wide open. Minnesota's offense is fierce, and now it's even fiercer. Is that a word? Fiercer? And one of the interesting things about what's going on here, January 2020, the managers and general managers from the 2017-2018 World Series winners have all been fired. How about that one? Pop your magic weasel. And with Alex Cora out following A.J. Hinch, the World Series winning managers from 2018, 17, 16, 15, 14 have either been fired or retired since the end of the season. I'll tell you what, this is what's going to happen. Baseball, football, basketball is going to survive, but EA Sports is going to be the dominant thing. I'm telling you, it's going to be EA Sports. So the Donaldson $92 million is the largest free agent contract in franchise history by total value, the second largest contract of total value overall in franchise history. Somebody else on Minnesota had a bigger extension, had $184 million extension. Who was it? Who was the only other player whose contract was larger than Donaldson's? The only other Minnesota player whose contract was larger than Donaldson's. Anybody want to take a shot at that one? Anybody want to take a shot? All right, fantasy bowling with Billy Whaley and Don Carter. Okay, Brooks has a trade offer. Kyle Wright, Bryce Wilson, Alex Jackson, Kyle Muller. All right, Donaldson to Milwaukee. See, that's right, Kevin's got it. Joe Mauer, George has it as well. Joe Mauer signed a bigger contract, the only one. What are you talking about, Encarnacion? Oh, come on, Andy. So anyway, yeah, it was a $184 million extension. Now, Donaldson against Minnesota. You want to know what Minnesota likes about him? He had 43 games. He had 190-plus plate appearances. 43 games. He had 19. He had, unbelievable. He had what? He batted .395. Okay? 64 hits. 19 home runs. 17 doubles. 46 RBIs. Are you kidding me? Of course they love Donaldson with those numbers. So, of course, he's 34. All right. He is the second largest. That's the second largest deal. Second largest deal for a player 33 or older. Only one contract was larger. So, look, this contract is the second largest for a player 33 or older. Only one contract was larger for a player 33 or older. It was $105 million. Name the player. Josh Donaldson signs a $92 million contract at age 34. That's his deal. That's the second largest for a player 33 years old or older. Only one player in the history of the major leagues had a larger contract at age 33 or older. Who was it? Okay? That's right, Marshall Holman. He was good. Kevin Brown. You guys are just too freaking unbelievable. I remember Marshall Ullman. He was a good bowler. Remember Earl Anthony, right? All right? If Earl Anthony lived in a ranch house, he might still have that. I don't understand about that, but there you go. And, of course, Brooks says they don't give up big prospects, and the Cubs get a catcher for a possible Wilson Contreras, okay, trade later. Very possible. Kevin Brown, you're absolutely right. George spoils all the fun, right? George knows too much. So, yep, and look, he's got an injury history, recent injury history. Okay. Central Division is wide open for the Twins. They have a prime aged lineup ready to win. Donaldson was fantastic and healthy last year. Look, Minnesota was not able to make the big score with the starting pitcher, but they upgraded not only offense but defense. Donaldson is a terrific third baseman, replacing Sano, who's not terrific, and he'll move to first base. So Sano will be the first baseman. At third base, he had a +8 outs above average. Third among third basemen, only behind Arenado and Chapman. Okay? So Donaldson is also a pretty good defensive third baseman. It's going to help Minnesota. The Twins had an 89.4 mile an hour average exit velocity as a team, third in Major League Baseball behind the Yankees and Red Sox. Donaldson hit 37 home runs in 2019. The only third baseman in the Twins Senators history. Remember, they used to be the Washington Senators. The only third baseman in Twins Senator franchise history to hit at least as many home runs in the season was who? And he did it 4 times. And I'm wearing his shirt right now. That's right. Josh Donaldson had the third most home runs among third basemen since 2015 with 156. All right, so let me answer the previous question. The previous question was, and I forget what it was, but you know me, I'll get to it, okay? Josh Donaldson, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here's the question. All right, so you answered the question. But here's the question. Who were the third basemen who had more home runs since 2015? His third most home runs among third basemen since 2015, 156. Okay? Both players ahead of them have played more than 150 games more than Donaldson. Who are the two players? And one player, by couch potato is down. Couch Masters. What the hell? I wonder what they're going to do. You know, we pay for that. Andrea pays for that. And let's see how they're going to handle the draft now. Separate the men from the boys, okay? So the only two ahead of Donaldson in home runs, even though he's played many less games, Nolan Arenado, of course, and the other one would be Manny Machado. So nice going. Arenado and not Miggy, Machado. Carmen Salvino, the bald guy. Remember Carmen Salvino used to cock his hand and all right, and listen on Only Toledo. All right? Nelson Burton Sr., Nelson Burton Jr. had a bowling alley in St. Louis, Missouri I used to go to, but Dick Weber was pretty decent. Carmen Salvino, right, on Only Toledo. He would take his hand and he'd twist his right hand. He'd twist it. Carmen Salvino, I can never figure out Carmen Salvino. On Only Toledo. Am I right? Do I know my shit, man, about bowling? The greatest bowling show I ever saw was Make That Spare with Guy LeBeau as the announcer. And it wouldn't be bowling, regular way. It would just be making spares. And they'd put up different spare combinations and you get points. I remember watching another show. It was on Saturday night. It was black alleys, black lanes, and white balls. Okay? Black lanes and white balls. So I went ahead and I got myself a white bowling ball. I had a 175 average in high school. Got a white bowling ball, 16 pounds with a fingertip grip. My average went down to 140. But I was cool, man. Good morning to Dale. If I missed you before, great stuff. Fantastic. Yeah. Billy Golombieski, Billy G. Remember him? Remember Billy Whaley? Remember Johnny King? Okay, yeah. Black lanes and white balls. That's it. That'll be the name of our band. Okay. Uh, yeah, that's right. Is that right? Uncle Toledo knows Carmen Salvino. That's right. I'll tell you. Is he still alive? If he is, and you could, I'd love to meet Carmen Salvino. No kidding. I watched him. If you ever get a chance, punch up on Google, Whispering Joe Wilson, and you'll see videos. The old days. Johnny King used to be a bowler, and he used to smoke a cigar while he was bowling. Anyway, I remember Whispering Joe Wilson. Here's Johnny King. Johnny King at the approach. It was like he was doing Mark Roth. He was good. Yeah, set me up with Carmen Salvino. That would be unbelievable. He probably would be so surprised that anybody remembers him. And I'd love to do it for him and for me. Okay? It would be great. All right. Going to get hooked up with Salvino. Carmen Salvino with the bald head and the twisted hand. Okay, anybody. Jake Odorizzi is happy. Donaldson has 5 career home runs against Odorizzi. That's the most Odorizzi has allowed to any batter in his career. And also tied for Donaldson's most against any pitcher. He also has 5 off of Chris Sale. So what's Atlanta going to do? They're going to likely pivot to either Ozuna or Castellanos after losing out on Donaldson. They are up the phone, ringing the phone. Who could this be? This could be Diane Gibbons. Okay, hello there. How are you? All right, I'm on the radio. I will call you right back. But everything went good. It's in there, the whole thing, if that's what you want to know. I will call you. Thank you. There you go. Anytime your broker calls. We got a hot one. So anyway, Donaldson was only a Brave for 1 season. Okay, and there you go. So there's going to be a lot coming off of this. The Braves coming off a 97-win season, second division title. So now they got to go to Plan B and Plan C. The Braves don't have a clear-cut power hitter. They just lost 37 home runs and 94 RBIs, along with a lot of the intangibles that Donaldson brought. They lost the steady defense. They lost, look, I'll tell you what, he was a star. So Minnesota reportedly impressed Donaldson with the meetings, not just with the money, but a couple other things. And we'll see what happens. We'll see. So Donaldson will be remembered as the best one-year free agent signing in Atlanta history. That's for sure. So now, the alternatives, Nolan Arenado, Chris Bryant. Let's see what the Braves do. Bryant has defensive concerns. Be a big difference in defense. Now, Arenado's value is really complicated by a lengthy contract and a bunch of opt-out years. Don't forget, we're going to skip the team of the day today. Too much stuff going on. The 28-year-old Arenado was signed through age 35, $244 million should he opt out. The Rockies want rich prospect compensation. Rich. Bryant has defensive concerns and is set to reel in a record deal. So he turned out okay even with this. So should the Braves turn their attention to the outfield, the third base hole will be addressed internally by Yohan Camargo and Austin Riley. They'll compete for the job. Camargo will probably be the starter. So depends on what happens. The outfield. Acuna is set to man right field. Enciardi is slotted in center, and they have a right field combination of Markakis and Duvall, and that's the platoon in left field. The Braves could shift those players around. 2 available outfielders, of course, would be Marcell Ozuna or Nick Castellanos. Both possess pop that can make up for much of Donaldson's production, though both have very severe defensive